Predicting. As the acronym suggests, we're interested in data mining, applied data mining, to gain insight into the behavior of customers. A bit like, Google does, because we are also into online advertising. But this talk won't be about David versus Goliath. The only reason the picture is actually there is because he's the founder of the company, not me. So back to the topic, the online advertising. You're probably all very familiar with the ads that are shown on Belgian news websites. The problem with them is that they're not always really well tuned to the interest of the web surfer. So that's something we try to improve through data mining. And we can do that by tracking people, the websites they visit, for example, and try to find what articles and what topics they are interested in. We did a case for Batibo, for example, where we also have data about the people that visit the Batibo website. So that way we actually know who is interested and who is not interested in that. And based on those profiles, reading profiles and reading behavior, we find the patterns, and we try to find people that are have similar reading behavior, and those people we then select to actually show the ads of Batibo, assuming that they might be interested as well and potentially want to go to Batibo. So if we quickly show some results for the Batibo campaign, we also compare to completely random targeting, so without using the mole. And in general, we're performing quite a bit better than the random mole. In the top segment, we even do up to 2 times better. Now, in the toy example, I only showed you a few websites. In reality, at this moment, we're tracking the traffic of up to 80 websites, which generates over 1 billion records every month. We can debate if it's big data or not. For some, it will probably not be big data. But in any case, I needed some distributed processing to do that processing on a daily basis. So one choice, you have 2 choices. Either you invest in your own infrastructure, which seems fun because building and buying computers, putting them together seems fun. The problem is that, of course, you have to maintain them and you have to find a place. It's very costly, especially for a startup like us. So that's why we actually decided to go for Amazon Web Service, which is probably the most important cloud computing provider at this moment. So they provide the infrastructure for us at a very decent price. They also, that's very good, they have software on top of that, which you can use and make sure you can easily scale. Like for the websites, at some point, we work with a partner that delivers us the logs, and at some point they start adding a lot of websites because they have new clients, and you have to be able to handle that traffic. And for that, Amazon, that's just a few clicks. You add some clusters, some compute instances to your clusters, and you actually don't have to do anything else, which is very, very nice if you have to scale, because you don't have to do that yourself. That's very roughly the execution tree or the data-driven workflow we're working with. Amazon actually provides you with AWS data pipeline as well that manages all the compute instances for you and launches all those jobs. Each node is actually a task that it has to run. So it does all those things for you. But it lacked some features. That's why we actually chose to implement that kind of execution tree ourselves. Also, me being very naive, that I thought that would be quite easy. The thing is that most of these nodes are connected. Communication, these are all points of failures, which happen to occur quite often. So I'm actually extinguishing fires quite often every week at the moment until that's up and running completely. So in conclusion, if you really want to get started very quickly, in my opinion, going for a cloud computing service like Amazon, really, you can, in 1 month's time, you're up and running with your first prototype, which is for a startup quite necessary to have a minimal viable product. But you also have to take into account if you don't use their platform as a service on top of that, and you use it as purely an infrastructure, then you still have to do all the exception handling, which can be quite hard and not to be underestimated. Thank you.